gospel-based solution to your everyday needs? Would you consider partnering with us in order to help us reach out to more souls? Then, become a part of ACNNTV Kingdom Investment Partnership. You can be a monthly or a yearly partner. To subscribe, make your partnership payment into this Zenith Bank account. Account name, Brother Communications Limited. Account number 1013267532. For more details and confirmation of your AKIP subscription, please call +234 703 2656544. You can also reach us via email. Together, we can reach the world with the undiluted Word of God.
Hello there, good morning and welcome to another edition of the newspaper review, reaching you live from the studios of the Anglican Cable Network Nigeria here in the city of Abuja. Smart Simon is still my name, and I am
I am Rachel Egbunu, and that's my name. Thank God it's Friday and a wet and cold morning at that. Welcome to another interesting edition of the newspaper review, where we inform you with the latest happenings in and around the country. And I will begin with the Friday Leadership newspaper, which leads with laundered funds used to finance terrorism. That's coming from President Muhammadu Buhari. It has the kicker: we must get Nigeria out of insecurity now. That's coming from Jonathan. You can find the details on page 4. And we have this picture. It's tagged endangered species. The 18 women holding out against 451 men in 9th NAS. The details you find on page 5. And the bottom strip stories: Zamfara governor louts the Nigerian Air Force over bandits negotiation. The details on page 13. And on page 12, court adjourns hearing on El-Zaki's application for medical trip. And finally, from the bottom strip story, World Bank to support more projects in Kogi. The details you can find on page 6. And we go up above the lead story. DSS, that is Department of State Security Services, alerts on cloning of government website. You can find the details on page 11. And on page 17, federal government to supply 10% of India's crude oil demands. And finally, from Friday Leadership, why federal government withdrew criminal charges against me. That is coming from Goje. It's over to you, Smart.
All right, thank you, Rachel. From The Nation, the headline: Oni, after visit to Buhari, Southwest wants no war. And just beside the big picture, President to speak on Ruga. And we have a quote. The picture is that of the President with Oba Oguwusi yesterday. And there is a quote from Oni of Ife. And it says, everybody is beating the drum of war. We don't want war. Who can stand war? We want something better for our youths. We should use them for something good other than shouting war and anarchy. We don't want that. Okay, and above the masthead, TUC rejects government circular on new pay. Details on page 8. Adopters of CSCS mom demand 70 million naira. See the details on page 5. INEC provides Atiku with document, page 41. Oil sink below technical support, page 14. Colonel, captain, 5 others killed in ambush. You see the detail on page 5. EcoBank, NISEL signed 70 million naira memorandum of understanding. And below the masthead, $60 billion yearly outflow undermines Africa's stability. And finally, NNPC to supply 10% of India's crude oil. And that will be all from the Nation newspaper.
All right, Smart. Next is the New Telegraph newspaper, and I'll take it from above the masthead, which is refineries. NNPC pushes for fresh loan from India. Corporation to supply 176.4 million barrels of crude oil to Asian country. The story starts from the front page and it continues on page 2 and on page 3. Department of Petroleum Resources commence full data digitalization of 2,616 oil producing wells. Department of Petroleum Resources to commence full data digitalization of 2,616 oil producing wells. The story you can find on page 3 and will come below the masthead. Nigeria will spend 2.5 trillion naira on debt servicing in 2019. That is coming from Atiku, and you can find the details on page 5 and on page 11. My political career guided by Mandela's principles. That is coming from Kalu. U.S. invests $165 million on Nigeria's agriculture, signs Food Security Pact. The details you can find on page 5. And finally, from this, I raped my daughter to protect her. That is coming from The Guard. You can find the details on page 9. And the lead story on New Telegraph newspaper says, Oni to Buhari, drums of war sounding in Nigeria, says Southwest forest overtaken by strangers. President, corrupt individuals sponsoring insecurity. Gunmen kill 2 soldiers, abduct expatriates in Akwa Ibom. You can find the details on pages 2 and 8. And we'll have this picture from left to right. The editor, New Telegraph, managing director and editor-in-chief, and others during a visit of the newspaper management to the Nigeria Tribune boss in Lagos yesterday. And the bottom strip stories: INEC chair, resident electoral commission failed to appear before tribunal. 10 Supreme Court justices to sit during vacation. The details is on page 3. And finally, from the New Telegraph newspaper, kissing may cause sexually transmitted disease. It's over to you, Smart.
All right, Rachel, thank you. One of the stories there has just captured my attention.
Okay.
Talking about a guard raping his daughter to protect her. It's a funny story, but not really funny. It's a sad one.
It's a sad one.
And it tells us how our society has degenerated. It has decayed so bad.
Why will your father say he went to protect his daughter?
Exactly.
Doing that by
raping daughter
her.
to protect. What kind of protection? If you want to know the details, get the newspaper, the New Telegraph, so as to get the details. Thank you. We now go to the Vanguard newspaper. Above the masthead, why women use charm to attract men, and that is coming from Lydia Forson. The detail is on page 4 if you want to know. Page 7, Army Colonel, 5 soldiers killed in Borno ambush. Bandits killed 20 in Sokoto. So killing is still on. Our Nigerian government must do everything possible to really curtail this. Insecurity. We are ready to defend ourselves. Oni tells Buhari. Detail on page 11 and on page 19. Joint tax board target 45 million taxpayers by third quarter 2019. And below the masthead, which is the major headline on the Vanguard newspaper, is about corrupt judiciary. Senior lawyers, civil society groups back new CJN, and the kicker says CJN should devise solution to the menace. Slum process that removed Onogen says it's disparaged judiciary. Worry over independence of judiciary under new CJN. Story on page 5. Okay, the big picture is that El-Zazaki, the leader of Islamic Movement of Nigeria, IMN, Sheikh Ibrahim El-Zazaki with his wife Zinat in Kaduna High Court yesterday. And beside the picture, Presidential Tribunal, INEC produces documents requested by Atiku and PDP. And we have Naira watch. Naira depreciates to 361.62 per dollar in I&E window. And the bottom strip story, homemakers, a fit and healthy body, best of fashion statement for women. See the details on page 24. Nisel EcoBank signed 70 billion naira agro-business memorandum of understanding, page 40. Page 14, El-Zazaki's overseas treatment. IMN kicks as court adjourns ruling on bail application. And finally, on page 12, Pro-Obaseki rocks Benin. EPM insists on house in Edo, and Pro-Obaseki rally rocks Benin. EPN insists no house in Edo. All right, that will be all from the Vanguard newspaper.
All right, next is Nigerian Tribune, and I'll take it from the top above the masthead. Minimum wage. Senior officers excluded as wages. Commission releases new salary structure. The story starts from the front page and it continues on page 7. And beside that story, Colonel, 8 soldiers killed in Borno Akwa Ibom attacks. The details you can find on page 31. And we come down below the masthead. Reps lack constitutional power to shut Edo Assembly. Government, PDP. The details on page 8. And on page 36, World Bank gives 10,000 Kogi farmers $200 million grants. You can find the details on page 36. And on page 6, Ganduje constitutes 16-man committee to establish Ruga settlement. And the lead story on Nigerian Tribune says warmongers planning to cause unrest in Nigeria. That is coming from Oni. Says Southwest doesn't want war. Our forest taken over by strange people, he adds. Yoruba nation won't go to war. That is coming from Adams. Fasoroti's daughter for burial Monday. OPC gives police 12 days to fish out her killers. And we have this big picture of President Muhammadu Buhari with the Oni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye. during the traditional ruler's visit to the State House, Abuja, on Thursday. And beside the picture, which is the last on Nigerian Tribune, presidential election, INEC chairman fails to appear before tribunal. Details you can find on page 29. It's over to you, Smart.
Thank you so much, Rachel. And the last paper with us here today is the blueprint. Beside the masthead, it says market capitalization dips by 87 billion naira, detail on page 33. Then TUC reject federal government circular on minimum wage, warns on consequential actions. This story actually has appeared in almost all the papers we're looking today. So the federal government should do something about this. And below the masthead, INEC chair Zamfara Ray comply with tribunal subpoena. The details on page 5. And on page 13, federal government withheld charges against Goje out of embarrassment. That is coming from the council. And on the major headline, Senate on State of the Nation, North under siege, 7.1 million need assistance. And the kicker says 420 billion naira needed to fix challenges. We don't want war, and that is coming from Oni. No nation survives politicizing security. And that is coming from Abuja. The details is on page 6. And the big picture is the picture of President Muhammadu Buhari, right? And Oni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Oguwosi Jaja II, during the presidential meeting with the Oni at the State House, Abuja, Thursday. And beside the picture there, we have Katsina State Governor Aminu Bello Masari Middle, Deputy Governor Maniru Yakubu left, and Emir of Katsina Alhaji Abdul Mumuni Kabir Usman during a security meeting at the government house, Katsina, on Thursday. Okay? And then the bottom strip story, Buhari on illicit financial outflows. Africa loses $60 billion yearly. And on page 18, no law bans cattle grazing in the federal capital. That is coming from Abuja Environmental Department, AEDP. Okay. South Africa's Jordan replaces Sack Pinnick as CAF Vice President. Detail on page 47. And on page 7, 3 arraigned in Ibadan for possessing human heads. If you want to know what, if you want to know the detail of the story, please go to page 7 of Blueprint. And on page 15, which is the last story for the day on this paper, says 60 cheats death as popular Ebonyi hotel collapses. And that will be all from the Blueprint.
Okay, Smart. Newspaper review will be right back after this short break with sports stories. Please stay with us.
Anglican Cable Network Nigeria, ACNN, is your most reliable gospel TV station that brings you quality TV programming which build your spiritual life and enhance your walk with God through the undiluted Word of God. Join us on our social media platforms anytime you miss your favorite program. Subscribe to our YouTube channel with the address www.youtube.com/ACNNTV and click that video that matters to you.
Protect your vote is a euphemistic way of saying do everything to make sure you can share blood, you can kill, to ensure that the person you voted for is the one that emerged as winner at the end of the day.
There is never a dull moment on our Facebook page, as we are dedicated to keep you informed with the up-to-date news about the church and other information. Just log on to www.facebook.com/ACNNTV, for you can now watch some of our programs live on your mobile device. Follow us on Twitter with the handle at ACNNTV.com, and you'll be glad you did. So now, there is no longer regret each time you miss any episode of your favorite programs, as you can now watch them on the go, anytime, anywhere. ACNN. We are indeed reaching the world with the undiluted Word of God.
Viewers, it's good to know you are still there. Up next is the sports stories. We go to page 44, starting from page 44. And it's leading with AFCON 2019. And it says, Mane Mares, tango for ultimate trophy in Africa. We have the AFCON final coming up today, Senegal versus Algeria, by 8 p.m. West African time. So please, let's gloom to our television set and see what is going to happen. All right, CAF slam $10,000 fine on Algeria. CAF drops Pinnick as first vice president as his tenure expires, contrary to what people are saying on the media, that he was sacked. Pinnick was not sacked. His tenure actually expired. Okay, and we continue. Omeruo preaches continuity for Eagles' young stars. Mane ready to trade Champions League title for AFCON trophy. Akpobere advises NFF not to overhaul Super Eagles. Igalo ponders international retirement. And finally, on this page, Chuku thanks Pinnick, commend Eagles. And we go to page 45. Sturridge banned, fine for gambling. Barcelona advised against Neymar, moved by medical staff. Okay, a table. Eagles' strongest man at AFCON 2019. As Roa wants him to move to a bigger club. Lukaku to be offered €41 million contract by Inter club. Liverpool cannot spend like Madrid, Barca, or and City, I beg your pardon. And also, finally on this page, Port Harcourt Polo Club plans mini polo tournament. And finally on page 46, still on AFCON 2019, Eagles can win 2021 AFCON if you want to know why he's saying this, get the Vanguard newspaper for the details. And that is coming from the coach. Okay? Mikel retires from international football at the age of 32. It's time for me to retire from the national team and let the youth take over. We've done an amazing job securing a bronze medal at AFCON 2019. Okay, our midfielder Mikel is saying it's time for him to go. He wants to retire from football,
he has contributed
from the national football, because the younger ones have done better without him. Yeah, the younger ones can come in.
Yeah,
it's good when it is time you leave the stage for others to come.
When the ovation is still high.
Exactly. I think he has done well. AFCON bronze delight Roa. Okay, but I am not delighted personally. We want you to go to the final and take the gold, not bronze. We did not expect bronze.
Least
but
they
you've
come
done
back
well.
Empty-handed. They are bringing home something. They are coming home with
there
the bronze.
are many countries who came back.
The host country left without nothing.
All right, so we thank the Super Eagles, the coach, the Super Eagles, for the well done job. Yeah, making us proud.
They made us proud. Getting the bronze medal, it's something.
Okay, it's all right. We continue. Adepoju pays retiring Mikel tribute. I beg your pardon. Adepoju pays retiring Mikel tribute. Okay, fans react to Mikel's retirement. Fan react to Mikel's retirement. Okay, Hayatu Sean CAF invitation. Hayatu is actually the recent past president of the CAF. He was invited, but he refused to honor the invitation. If you want to know why, get the Vanguard newspaper for details. Okay. Eagles abandoned hotel food for Nigerian delicacies. Yes, trust Nigerians. That is, of course, you know, when you go to another country and you are sure that that will be Nigerian delicacy, you will choose to go for Nigerian delicacy. We have the best food in the world.
Yes.
Yeah, and very, very spicy at that. Okay, and finally, Hit nightclub to loosen up. Okay, that will be all for today on the national dailies and the sports stories.
Yeah, this is how far we can go on today's edition of Newspaper Review. Thank you for giving us audience this morning. Have a pleasant weekend, and until we come your way again.
Okay, bye for now, but we want to let you know that there will be prayer hours coming up by 12 o'clock, and it's live. For your prayer request, please, you can tune in and send your prayer requests, as men of God will be available to pray with you. God bless you.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel with the address www.youtube.com/ACNNTV and click that video that matters to you.
Protect your vote is a euphemistic way of saying do everything to make sure you can share blood, you can kill, to ensure that the person you voted for is the one that emerged as winner at the end of the day.
There is never a dull moment on our Facebook page, as we are dedicated to keep you informed with the up-to-date news about the church and other information. Just log on to www.facebook.com/ACNNTV, for you can now watch some of our programs live on your mobile device. Follow us on Twitter with the handle @ACNNTV.com, and you'll be glad you did. So now, there is no longer regret each time you miss any episode of your favorite programs, as you can now watch them on the go, anytime, anywhere. ACNN. We are indeed reaching the world with the undiluted Word of God.